Hi, I'm Shoestring Jay and welcome back to my channel where I talk about all things frugal, thrifty and sustainable. And welcome back to my Frugal Kitchen. Today I'm going to be making an old family favourite, which is an American apple cake. It's like an old-fashioned pudding that you'd have with something like custard. I'd love it with custard warm, or with ice cream, with a bit of cream, or you could just have it as it comes. It is really, really nice warm, and it's quite a solid sort of cake. It's not light and fluffy, but that's great, especially if you're not great at making cakes, because you don't have to worry about getting it all light. You just have to make sure it's cooked enough. And it's just to say, it's super easy. I used to make it all the time with the kids and I really like it. So I'll show you what I'm going to put in it to start with. Here are my ingredients. I've got apples, butter, although I am going to just use up this stalk, which I don't know why I've got this. I think Mum must have left it here because I don't normally buy any margarine, so I'll use that up just to get it out of the way. I've got bicarbonate soda, I've got ground mixed spice. The recipe actually calls for nutmeg and cinnamon, but I've got cinnamon but I haven't got any nutmeg. I'll use that, it's got that in it. Caster sugar, some chopped mixed nuts, and that is it. So it's quite simple and straightforward. I've forgotten my eggs. We do need 2 eggs, so 2 eggs. So it's pretty straightforward. Other than that, mostly store covered ingredients and good for using up apples that look a bit wrinkly or whatever. And there's a lot of apples about at the moment. It's that kind of apple season. So here we go. The recipe calls for 12 ounces of sugar. I think that's rather a lot, so I've just cut that back to 10 ounces, which is still probably quite a lot. Now adding my butter, or margarine in this case. And then I've added my 4 ounces of butter. I'm fighting the dog next door who is barking constantly, causing Archie to bark. It's driving me a bit nuts this morning. Then you have to cream these two together. The margarine could have been a bit softer. I should have taken it out of the fridge earlier. Let's gradually beat these in as well. So far, so traditional cake making. So I'm very aware that I'm working in old school ounces. I just think like that. I find it really hard still to get into kind of metric measurements. So I'm going for 8 ounces of plain flour. I will put the recipe in the description with grams as well, so in case you're not as old as me. Add my flour. I'm going to add some bicarbonate of soda just to give it that little bit of raising agent. Just a teaspoon of that. And then I'll put in maybe 3 teaspoons of my mixed spice, because that's the amount of spice overall there would have been. Well, the other thing I didn't mention in the ingredients that the recipe requires is a pinch of salt. So I've add a pinch of salt, and I'm just going to fold all that together. So this to me at the moment is looking a bit dry. So what I tend to do, I think it depends on the size of your eggs. So at this point I could either add another egg, or I could add a little bit of milk. So that's probably what I'm going to do. Let's just add a tablespoon or so of milk. See how I go with that. That's just loosened it up a bit. Well, it already smells of autumn, those lovely spices. I love ground mixed spice. I use it a lot in baking. Just that mixed spice. I mean, you can get the separate nutmeg and everything, but I find that easy. There you go. So now I can add my apple and my nuts. I haven't actually chopped the apples up yet, so let's do that. Normally I chop them first, but they won't go brown this way. These apples have been hanging around for ages. I just don't eat a lot of apples these days, especially with such lovely fruit. I'm particularly into eating nectarines at the moment. But I do like them cooked. I made a big vat of apple, well, stewed apple. I was going to say apple puree, but it was a stewed apple, quite lumpy, with cinnamon and brown sugar and mixed dried fruit, and took it over to Justin's mum the other day, and she loved it with a bit of custard. Very simple, can't go wrong. Used up the apples. She loves an old-fashioned pudding, so she will hopefully enjoy this. She's eating a little bit more at the moment. It's quite hard to get her to eat much. I like the apples quite small dice in this. Try not to waste any, but I don't want to get too close to the core. So I go for about this, like small dice. I think you want it to be, you want to know that it's apple. You know, you don't want it grated or anything, but because you want to taste the apple. But it won't hold together if you make them too big. Oh, the dog next door is howling again. Dear, start Archie barking. Don't want any of that. I've just finished reading a book. It's called Like Water for Chocolate, and it's a very old book. And I don't know if any of you have read it. It's set in Mexico. It was written in Mexico, I think. Published in Mexico originally. It's quite an old book. It's made into a film, which I also haven't seen. I'd like to see it. I'm reading it for my book group. And it's so interesting. It's food related. So it's all based on food. And the central character, Tita, starts every chapter with a recipe that she's going to make, and it's normally for something that's happening as part of the storyline, some sort of festival or a wedding or some sort of celebration or whatever. And the food, it's a kind of book of magical realism, so it's kind of factual but also magical, fantastical things happen in it. And whatever Tita is feeling goes into the food. So if she's feeling angry, everybody gets grumpy, and if she's feeling passionate, everybody gets fruity. And it's very, very funny in that way. I really recommend it. It's a really interesting book, but you've probably all read it. As I say, it's been around a long, long time, but it's just kind of food related. What the idea that your passion goes into your food, the food that you create. And I guess that's true up to a point if you create it with care, loving care. I'm sure people appreciate it. Anyway, I won't make you endure me chopping the rest of the apples, and move on to something else. So as you can see, this is going to be absolutely rammed with delicious apples. This is why it's not a light cake and it's more of a pudding. Like an older-fashioned English pudding, even though it's called, I don't know why American cake. Americans amongst you, tell me, is this a typical American cake? Or is it just Sainsbury's Just finding an inventive title for something. Let's add the nuts as well. It's 4 ounces of nuts going in. It's a very nutty apple cake. It's a very sticky batter. I'll use a smaller spoon, I think. I feel like getting my hands in there, but it's really sticky, so maybe not. Oh, it's absolutely lovely, this cake. I can't wait to eat a slice of this. So delicious. Just mixing everything in properly, as thoroughly as you can. And I've lined my baking tin. My daughter gave me these paper ones, and I don't bake that often, so they've lasted me a long time. And honestly, I would say I wouldn't go back to trying to cut a piece of greaseproof to the size. I would actually go and buy some more of those. I think they should got them from Home Bargains or somewhere. It's just so much easier to line a round cake tin with something like that. I've got some rectangular ones for a loaf tin as well. Let's have a taste. Yum. Just a bit of apple. So it's absolutely round, you can see, with apples. It does have quite a long cooking time because of this. It's going to go in for an hour and a quarter. Temperature starts off as 180, but then quite quickly you put it down to 150 if you're using centigrade. But I'll put all of the details, as I say, in the description if you're on Fahrenheit or gas. It would be nice done with brown sugar. I have made it with brown sugar. Sometimes I think apples and brown sugar go together well, don't they? I'll say it's such a sticky batter, this. Oops. A mess. You can imagine my kids loved making this, can't you? Satisfying. Lovely. There you go. So I'm going to stick that in the oven now. All ready to go. So that's in the oven now, and I actually, reading the recipe properly, I should know this after all this time, but it goes in at 180 degrees, which is 350 Fahrenheit, gas mark 4 for 1¼ hours. Then you lower the temperature to 150 degrees centigrade. So, and you cook for a further 45 minutes. So it does take quite a long time to cook, but I think with my oven, I've said this before, my oven is quite ferocious. It's a fan oven, but it seems to be a particularly ferocious fan oven. So I will probably take it out. I'll turn it down before that just to make sure it doesn't catch on the top. So it stays moist. It's got so many apples in it. It's going to stay moist rather than drying out. So I'm not worried about that, but I don't want the top to catch. So anyway, we'll leave that to cook and go and do some work. It's very, very hot still, so I can't try it yet, but it's out of the oven. So I'll leave it to cool for a bit and then we'll give it a taste. Okay, it's still really warm, but I just want to give it a try. And it's lovely when it's warm. And it always does this. It kind of gets a crust on top. And it's really very moist inside. As you can see, I've made myself a nice cup of tea. It's quite soft. Obviously, if you leave it to cool, it's not as soft as it. It's steaming. It's actually boiling still. But I couldn't wait because Archie wants to go out and I want to get the video finished. Plus it's lovely warm, as I say. And I've gone crazy. Got some ice cream out. I hardly ever eat ice cream, but it's just nice with this. So this is a bit of a treat. Cold ice cream with hot cake. Looks good. Let's give it a try. Sun's out again now. It's been raining, sunshine, windy, all sorts of weather going on today. I think it is the second day of the meteorological autumn, second day of autumn. and it feels like that, but I don't mind. You know, I'm very happy. Right, let's have a taste of this very, very hot cake. I don't know if you can see it's still steaming. Don't want to burn my mouth. That is delicious. I'll put the recipe below. I recommend you try it. It's really delicious. I think it is anyway. Although I think lots of things are delicious. Maybe some of you don't. So I'm going to go and treat myself to a sit down for 5 minutes, cup of tea, finish my cake. So that's all the cooking for today. If you enjoyed the video, please do give me the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I'm still not at 10,000. I keep saying to people, please share, try and get me to 10,000. It's actually driving me mad. It's gone so slowly, the last 1,000. So I don't know why it matters, but it feels like a landmark that I would like to reach. Anyway, if you enjoyed it, as I say, don't forget to give me the thumbs up and subscribe if you don't already. And I will see you on Sunday, and I'm going to do my Q&A video. So if you've submitted a question, you'll be able to see the answer to that question, hopefully. I'll see you then. Thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.